fade away and come with me inside.
drivers. Tonight, more than 12,000 drivers kick off their hopes to make it to the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series, with the first step coming right here. The qualifying series, the eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying iRacing series, features 8 races, will help shrink the field down to 70 drivers to send them off to the second round. This race tonight, the first step for many that have ambitions of making it all the way, and these drivers have all of the chips in the center of the table here in virtual Las Vegas. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to STN Racing's coverage of the opening round for the 2021 eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying iRacing series, live from the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Jacob Hitz, joined alongside Casey Sawich, and we've got Zach Johnson as our producer for this evening. Casey, it's great to have you along. Qualifying has just wrapped up, or is in the process of wrapping up, about 20 seconds left. And we've got a lot of race car drivers here tonight, or race truck drivers in this case. It should be a lot of fun here at Las Vegas to kick things off.
Absolutely, Jacob. Thanks for having me here. Zach, appreciate you doing everything you're doing here so far, producing. I can't wait. A lot of drivers, a lot of talent out here. A couple names I do recognize. And, man, second split, but wow, we have over 30 drivers here and over 700 drivers, I believe, at least registered.
We last number I saw, we were up over 1,200 drivers registered for the session. A lot of different splits. We're here covering the second split, and a lot of recognizable names here in this second split. 134 laps are up on the board for tonight's race. Track temp going to be around 85, 95 degrees. Very easy for these guys to lose grip at speed, especially when the trucks are set up to be loose. As let's run through the top 10, or run through the entire starting grid. Starting on pole, Santiago Tires in the number 10 Chevy Silverado. On his outside, the 34 of Liam Brotherton, in the Toyota. In row number 2, we've got Jose Salas Jr., who made it to the contender round last year. He starts third in the 19. Caden Honeycutt in the 21 starts 4th. In 5th, the 25, Daniel Smallwood. On his outside, the 33, Corey Carpenter. Starting in 7th, Landon Huffman in the 9, Brandon McKissick in the 31 that starts on his outside in 8th. Rounding out the top 10, in 9th, Garrett Conrath in the 20, and Kenny Brady in the 7 truck starts 10th.
Starting 11th position, Trevor Perry. Starting 12th, James Winsell. Adam Gilliland, grid in 13th. 14th, Justin Knobloch. Colin Bolden starting 15th. Outside of him, Michael Cozy Jr., 16th position. Grid in 17th, Nicholas Shelton. Grid in 18th, Jesse Schwartz. Garrison Hogan for 19th. And Will Cooley, top off your top 20.
Starting in row number 11, we've got Jacob Hall in the 8 Chevrolet. He starts 21st. To his outside, the 27 of Cale Gale. In 23rd, Mitchell Hunt in the 35 Chevy. To his outside, Connor Horn in the 24 machine. Starting in 25th, Omar Diallo in the 26. To his outside, Justin Reed in the 4. Starting 27th, Jeremy Davis in the 32 truck. The 24 of Caden Laptovich starts in 28th. In 29th, Jordan Worth in the 92 truck. And on his outside, rounding out row number 15, is number 17, Marcus Lindsay. And we'll take care of these final 5 here as well. Ryan Matthews in the 1 starts 31st. Tyler Justice in the 3 starts 32nd. James Milbachler starts in the 33rd spot. In the 15 truck, James Heater at 34th in the 18. And Will Clyde rounds out the grid in 22nd as the field is rolling. And we are half a lap away from green flag here, Casey. Should be a fun one.
Thank you, Jacob. Had a little technical difficulties with the old microphone. Thank you for taking care of that. I am back. Don't worry. I'm ready to go racing, race fans. This should be a good one.
1.5 mile speedway here in Las Vegas always sets up a good show. Field comes off of turn number 4, and for the first time this season in the iRacing Road to Pro Series, sure, it's second split, but these drivers are sure going to drive like the best of the best and looking to try and get their way eventually into the eNASCAR Coke iRacing Series. Green flags in the air. We are underway from Las Vegas, and Santiago Tires doesn't waste any time to get to the front. He jumps out ahead as they head to turn 1.
2-car gap. He has the advantage. See if he can control the air here. Couple cars behind here. Truck time. I apologize. 2 rows back. Double wide still. 3 cars on the outside.
Santiago Tires still out in front. Liam Brotherton on the outside, trying to make something happen as they come through 3 and 4. Who's going to lead the opening lap of the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series? Give it to the 10 truck of Santiago Tires. They're back to turn 1.
3 wide there, trying to lead the first lap. Went back to 2 wide. 2-1. Caden Honeycutt trying to hold down 4th, looking for 3rd.
All right, here we go. Now everything's rolling. As the field comes back off turn number 2, it's still Santiago Tires out in front. You've got Brotherton in second, Solis in third, Honeycutt fourth, Carpenter fifth, as everybody now single file around the racetrack until you get, well, let's take a look, till you get to about the 13th spot with Trevor Perry trying to make some moves.
Corey Carpenter going inside, looking for 4th position, going into turn number 1, inside of 21 of Caden. He's going to have the advantage coming out of turn number 2, on the move, looking for 3rd.
Field keeps rolling as they come down the back straightaway once again. It's still Tires out in front. Little side-by-side action going on for the 5th spot. Here comes Daniel Smallwood looking under the 21 of Caden Honeycutt. They're going to be side-by-side off turn 4, and Corey Carpenter looks to the inside as well as they head to the stripe. Side-by-side for 3rd, side-by-side for 5th. These guys aren't wasting any time. It's a long race, but they're going at it like it's 5 to go.
Absolutely. They're here to put on a show. Still on the move. 33 of Corey going for 3rd. Double file is the maximum, 3 wide. We just saw it lap 1. Single file back now up front.
Carpenter makes the pass work in that 33 truck, so he hangs around. He takes the 3rd spot away. He'll now try and work on the 34 of Liam Brotherton as they head back to turn number 1. You've got the 10, and then you've got the 10, really. It says 10 on the side of the truck for Brotherton. Then what says the 30 of Carpenter as they come off turn 2.
Backstretch they are going. Your pole sitter, Santiago Tires, is still holding on, leading the charge. Coming to lap number 7 here at Las Vegas, but still the truck on the move. In my opinion, Corey Carpenter in 3rd, trying to make a move for 2nd.
Here comes Brotherton now to the inside, looking for the lead underneath Tires. Side by side, looking for the first lead change of this split here in the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series. Still side by side down the back straightaway.
Going into turn number 3, we got a challenge for the lead. Liam Brotherton in the 34 has advantage out of turn 3, side by side at the line. Who's going to get it? I believe 34, Liam did.
Brotherton did lead the lap. His first lap led on the night. First one not led by Tires. Still side by side in through turn 1 and 2. Carpenter on the outside trying to lead the charge behind Tires. Tires gets the launch off the corner. Retakes the lead for a moment to 3.
Caden 5th position here. 2-1 was in 4th. Trying to get back up front side by side for 2nd.
Pushing this button, by the way.
Was the leader just a minute ago, fell back to 3rd.
Tires back to the front. And now you got Carpenter in 2nd. You've got Brotherton 3rd. Solis still trying to hang around in that 4th spot. Honeycutt trying to hang on to the 5th spot, side by side behind him. Got the 25, Daniel Smallwood. You got the 9 of Landon Huffman. They're all over each other, trying to fight their way for a top 5 spot early on.
Looking back here, 11th, looking at Kenny Brady, trying to get in the top 10 here. Going to see a little difference of drivers' strategies here. You might see some drivers trying to push it hard the first few laps and then start taking care of the rubber on the truck. Some drivers just taking it easy, letting the drivers go by to do the long haul.
And here we go, battle for the lead. Corey Carpenter to the inside of Santiago Tires. He's going to try and bring Brotherton with him off of 4, still side by side. Looks like Carpenter might be able to get it done. He'll at least lead the lap, and he's clear headed for turn 1. And, well, now here comes Brotherton. He's going to look to the inside to try and take away the lead.
Absolutely. He has company, bringing a friend with him on the backstretch out of turn 2. Corey Carpenter is your leader. Brotherton falls back to the 3rd. Tires in 2nd, not leaving the leader too far ahead.
Come off of 4, still single file for the first top 5. Landon Huffman trying to make something happen in the 9, peeking in and out of traffic, trying to make some passes. Now here comes Jose Solis Jr. to the inside with Honeycutt following him, trying to get by Liam Brotherton. He made a charge for the lead, but now it appears he may be slipping back through some traffic.
See one truck here in the inside, almost looked like he was hung out to dry. 1-1 Adam Gillen in 10th position here. Got back in line to the top 12 here, single file at the moment. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, everybody's single file, and then you got pack racing going on behind him. You've got Justin Knobloch back there, Michael Cozy Jr. back there, Nicholas Shelton. They are all over each other, almost 3 wide off of turn 2. It is a cluster of trucks here in the center of the pack, around 15th, 20th spot.
This is where you're going to start seeing the tires fall off. The aerodynamics of these trucks are going to get affected here. You're going to start seeing these trucks starting to push and get loose here in a couple laps, as we are in lap 14 of 134.
And, of course, we don't have the tire window, but about 40 laps, maybe a little more if you're really pushing the tires. Fuel window is about 55 laps for these trucks. So you really don't want to melt the tires off the car, but if you save them too much, then we have too much rubber left on the car when you try and come onto pit road and you didn't use the tires to the full potential that they could have been used to.
Yeah, that's correct. You don't want to underuse them, but you definitely don't want to overuse them the top half of the run, and then you're struggling, the last 20 laps of your run. Right now, as you're just looking at the temperature of the track, we're at 90 degrees. We started this race at 85. Not a whole lot of wind. We'll see here. 7 miles an hour from the north. We'll take a peek at that. Keep an eye on it. See if that continues to grow. That would be a factor. Humidity 21%. Not too bad. Not too sticky. 33 of Corey Carpenter still up front there.
Had a battle going on for a moment between the Daniel Smallwood machine and the Caden Honeycutt machine. They were going at it. They've sorted it out, but now Adam Gilliland is starting to apply some pressure, or get some pressure from Brandon McKissick. This is for 9th.
See here. Yep, Daniel Smallwood, 6th position, trying to hold off Caden. He's been up front here in the entire race. So far, so good. Tires, your pole sitter, 2nd. Still a lot of drivers single file, just taking their time here, trying to save their truck for the long haul of this race.
And here comes Honeycutt now back underneath Smallwood, still trying to apply that pressure for the 6th spot. Every point matters, but we're only 17 laps through this 134 lap race. There's still a long way to go. A lot of things that could happen. We have yet to even see our first caution flag of the afternoon, so there's still a long way to go. And at this rate, you got to worry about old tires and potentially even a green flag stop.
Green flag stop with worn tires can be catastrophic sometimes, unfortunately. And right now you might start seeing a little bit of mind games. You might see some drivers that have the potential to pass someone, but they're going to stay right behind them to upset the rear end of these trucks to make them tight and all of a sudden get loose and wear up their tires a little bit quicker than the others.
And with how packed together everybody is right now, it'd be tough to do green flag stops because you've had people running over each other trying to hit the brakes and get on the flat. It's a tough pit road to enter here as we've got a battle for 8th. Jesse Swartz and Adam Gilliland are side by side off turn number 4. Got a decent pack there. They're leading around here for this 8th spot.
9th, Adam Gillen trying to hold on, trying to fight back, getting a little tight here, coming out of 2, has to let off a little bit, correct it. Right now he is by himself on the low side, going into turn number 3.
And that's going to open the door for McKissick as well. He's going to jump to the high side. He'll try and get by the 11 machine of Adam Gilliland. They'll be side by side off turn 4. It looks like Swartz is going to hang on to the spot for the moment. McKissick is also going to clear him back to the stripe. A great move by him. He's able to blow by Gilliland, relegate him back to 10th, and we've made it 20 straight laps now without seeing the yellow handkerchief being thrown from the flag stand. So props to these drivers for keeping it clean for so long.
Absolutely, Jacob. So
and
far,
how about
so
this?
Good.
Battle for the lead. Santiago Tires back to the front. Able to get back in front of Corey Carpenter off of 4.
There we go on lap 22, 134, back on pole. As you just said, Jacob, Santiago Tires going by Corey Carpenter. Trying to put pressure there for a little bit, probably making him use up those tires just a little bit. We'll see if Carpenter just relaxes, takes advantage of using the leaders there now to pull him around the racetrack.
And here comes Jose Salas Jr. to the inside of Landon Huffman off turn 4. He'll take that spot away. That is for position number 4. Salas been hanging around that top 5 spot really since the drop of the green flag. Move a little further back. Brandon McKissick all over the back bumper. The 29 of Jesse Swartz. He got a little loose there at the center of the corner, and here comes the cavalry. Gilliland to the inside. Conrath on the back bumper. Kenny Brady is there. It's a 5-car pack headed for turn number 3. They're all over each other.
Brandon McKissick there going the outside. That is where the preferred line will be if the trucks underneath don't push up, especially as these tires wear, as we're coming to lap 24, 25 here.
Man, I thought Adam Gilliland was going to turn Brandon McKissick there in the triangle. They got awfully close together. McKissick close. With another great run. He gets by Swartz, move him up to 8th. Adam Gilliland's going to kick the door down on the high side. He's going to try and get by Swartz. That's going to bring Nicholas Shelton with him as well.
Let's see what Garrett Conrath does. He goes to the outside. Yep, he goes back low. Can't decide where he's going to go. I think he's going to get the momentum. He does. He's going to follow in suit. 2-9, Jesse Swartz is hung out to dry. This is like the 2nd lap in a row. He is trying to hold on, get back in the groove here, and get back in rhythm.
And he is going to get in line, I believe. Oh, no, he's not. I was looking at the wrong truck. Swartz still stuck on the bottom. Kenny Brady catching up. Colin Bowden making his way downtown as well. He's trying to get to the 29. 29 gets in line, though. Everybody has to check up. And now here comes the 7 of Kenny Brady. He looks to the inside to turn 1.
That was paper thin, close. 7 trying to get the move there. Brady, he is inside. He's going to give all he has to try to get around, but Jesse Swartz finally got back in line. It's going to be tough now as these tires wear. It's really difficult to keep the trucks fast and down low.
He's still going to try it there on the bottom. Brady is in that 54 truck. Kyle Busch Motorsports asks down on the bottom. You got the 24 of Colin Bowden right behind him. Shows up as the 28 on the ticker. Number 24 slapped on the side of the truck. 26 laps complete here in Las Vegas. No change up front. Santiago Tires still out in front. Really, everybody pretty evenly spaced out. This is probably the best battle on the racetrack right now. Back for this 12th, 13th spot between Jesse Swartz and Kenny Brady.
As we come to lap 28, driver on the move, Jose Salas Jr. moved to second position right now. Turn number 1, 2, 3, truck lengths behind your leader, Santiago Tires. I think he's been saving. He was in fourth position this entire race, just letting drivers go by, picking his battles, not overdriving the truck. Right behind now, Corey Carpenter, trying to hold on here as the battle in the 2-1. Caden Honeycutt was in 7th, 8th position a few laps ago. He's now up to 4th position.
I think Jose heard me say something about at the top 5. It was pretty evenly spaced out. He decided to prove me wrong and jump for second. And you've got Honeycutt and Brotherton fighting for 4th as well. Brotherton tried the outside line, didn't work that time through 1 and 2.
Single file looks to be almost the top 12. Some side-by-side action, maybe mid-pack here. Maybe around 15th for Colin Bowden, number 28. Connor Horn on the outside. He's bringing some friends along. We got 3 cars right behind as we come to lap 29-30. Lap 30, I'm sorry.
And I tell you what, you won't miss a thing. Let's go side by side here from Las Vegas. Santiago Tires, your race leader in the eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying iRacing Series.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
An incredible battle up front for the lead. Santiago Tires remains out in front. Caden Honeycutt now in the number 2 spot. Jose Solis Jr. third. Corey Carpenter fourth. Liam Brotherton rounding out the top 5. These guys were swapping positions back and forth throughout most of that side-by-side, and they're still pretty close together. They're also battling for 6th. Landon Huffman, Brandon McKissick side-by-side.
These top 5 want to race the entire race. You talked about the first 5 laps of the race. They thought it was the last 5 laps, and here we are. 0 cautions, 34 laps done. We should be coming, I'm expecting, what do you think, 10, 15 laps, we start seeing pit stops? How long these tires are going to last?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a caution, too, because I just saw Landon Huffman almost crash coming off of turn number 2. He got very sideways. It cost him 6th to Nicholas Shelton. He's got Brandon McKissick all over him as they head back to turn number 1, plus Conrath and Smallwood behind him waiting in the wings as well. Meanwhile, up front, Caden Honeycutt is side-by-side with Santiago Tires for the lead.
Had the advantage through 1 in the middle, coming out of 2, lost it, falls back in line. Jose Salas Jr. again, just being patient this entire race, got 2nd there, was right in 4th. Up front again, Santiago Tires, who was our pole sitter.
And here we go back to turn one. Honeycutt goes to the bottom. Tires decided to go for the middle line. Honeycutt trying to get to the back bumper of the 10 of Tires. Can't quite do it. They'll stay single file. Solus with a big run. He's going to give the 21 of Honeycutt a shot down the back straightaway, trying to break up the monotony here and get that 10 of Santiago Tires out of the way.
He went way to the high side, getting the biggest run momentum he can as we come to lap number 38. Stick it right here in third, but Caden Honeycutt on the back bumper. Santiago gonna stick it down low, coming out of turn two, gonna fall right back in line. These top five are close. We got a second pack here right behind. Looks to be about 4 packs total, but these top five have been racing the entire night right here together at Las Vegas.
Well, and these guys, I mean, they've just been inseparable pretty much. This top five has been consistent since the drop of the green flag 38 laps ago, and they are now bunched up nose to tail between Tires, Honeycutt, Solus Jr., and Carpenter. These guys seem to be the class of the field so far. Brotherton not too far behind, and Nicholas Shelton appears to have a great long run truck because he has advanced his way into the 6th spot.
Now
it's tough to miss him too with that bright green race truck.
You're right about that. It's like the centerpiece, so we can keep a little track for us in the broadcast booth here. Brandon McKenzie, 7th position. He was leading the charge here in the second pack, and they have now caught the top 5, top 6 here. We'll see if they stay back in line. They are catching the top 5 as we get to the backstretch, completing here lap number 40 of 134.
Yeah, so these guys are getting close to their window now to potentially make a green flag pit stop. It should be roughly another 10 or so laps before we start to see folks come onto pit road. But we just got to wait and see what these drivers do, what they think would work out best for them. Field comes down the back straightaway. Tires starting to pull away. A couple car lengths now between him and Honeycutt, and Solus Jr. is all over the back bumper of Honeycutt, and Carpenter is all over the back bumper of Solus Jr. down the back stretch, even all the way through 3 and 4. Here comes Carpenter down to the inside looking for third.
Taking a peek, here he goes. He has the advantage by a door inside for third. 33 of Corey Carpenter trying to follow Caden Honeycutt as our leader Santiago Tires is slowly starting to pull away. Now we have 2 drivers, the bright green machine of Nicholas Skelton trying to move his way up into the top 5, going through turn 3, coming out of 4, right inside of Liam Brotherton. Side by side, he's going to get it that lap. He moved it up to the top 5. Nicholas Shelton.
2 battles right in the screen here. Battle for third, battle for 5th. These guys have put on a whale of a show already. Shelton clears Brotherton for that top 5 spot. Carpenter still trying to get by Solus Jr. Really, he's trying to get in between him and Honeycutt, who's in 2nd. Looks like he'll do it here in 3 and 4. Maybe try and slide up and take the spot. He will. And now here comes Nicholas Shelton to the inside.
Still holding tough on the outside. Jose Salas Jr. trying to make these tires last as long as possible and trying to do everything he can to get the run here out of turn 2, trying to hold off Nicholas Shelton, who is on the move. 4th position, as they score him going into turn 3. He is moving quite well. Santiago Tires got quite a good advantage here, about 10 truck lengths as we complete lap 44, 134 laps right here at Las Vegas.
So at this point, Santiago Tires just about to a 2nd lead. Just 9/10 of a second right now is the gap. And then 2nd on back is under a blanket at this point with Honeycutt. Carpenter has clawed his way back to the front. Nicholas Shelton has clawed his way to the front for the first time tonight. It appears he's got one of the best, if not the best, long-run truck here. Then Solus Jr., who's starting to fall through the field. You got Brandon McKissick hanging around. Liam Brotherton, who's falling back. They're side-by-side for 6th. Garrett Conrath in the 8th spot. Landon Huffman 9th. Kenny Brady rounds out the top 10. Here comes Carpenter the inside for 2nd.
Coming out of the back stretch, Nicholas Shelton's going to follow in suit, going into turn 3. 2-1, Caden Honeycutt is going to fall the outside, and those two drivers right now go right on by as we come into lap 47. Carpenter.
And the leaders on pit road. Santiago Tires, the first car to come onto pit road, first truck rather, of the leaders. Also pitting this time by James Wenzel, Connor Horn, Jeremy Davis, as well as Jesse Swartz and James Milbachler, who's already at the back. So at this point, the window has been busted open for green flag pit stops. Corey Carpenter remains out in front for now. Who else could we see come onto pit road? James Heater says he's coming onto pit road. Here comes, well, just about everybody. Corey Carpenter. Here comes Honeycutt. Here comes Brandon McKissick. They're almost crashing, getting onto pit road. Here comes everybody. Will Cooley. Smallwood is on. Trevor Perry. Conrath.
That was the
Jacob Hall,
there,
Justin Reed,
road there, as he
Cozy.
said, Jacob.
Yeah, that got scary very quick. Almost had our first caution because of that. Nicholas Shelton is your leader, and he is going to come in this time, as is Solis, as is Huffman, as is Brotherton. They're 3 wide getting onto pit road with Brady. Gilliland is there. Hogan to pit road. Klein, Lapsovich, Diallo, Hunt, Lindsay, everybody to pit road, and at this point they're side by side for the lead on the access road through turn 1 and 2. Honeycutt and Carpenter side by side. Now Honeycutt blows by and he takes the lead for now, but now here comes Santiago Tires. He already has a lap on his tires. He will take the lead, and he already has a 2-second margin over Caden Honeycutt in that second spot.
All alone up here. Let's see. Lap 48 coming to lap 49. I'm a little technical difficulty here. Give me just a second here.
Tires makes the pass. He gets by Shelton. Shelton's going to come back out in about the 6th spot. Caden Honeycutt, 2 seconds back on Tires. Then it's Carpenter, McKissick, Conrath. Your top 5 is Santiago Tires. Pits first. It works for him. He cycles back out in front as your race leader.
Advantage now. Your race leader 2 seconds over Caden Honeycutt. Is in second position. Corey Carpenter third. Brandon McKissick fourth. Garrett Conrath now in the top 5, which shuffles Nicholas Shelton back to 6th position. So smart call there by your leader, Santiago Tires. He had about a second advantage before pits, coming out now 2 seconds.
And now how about a battle for 7th? Connor Horn gets by Nicholas Shelton. Trevor Perry starting to lurk back there as well. He wants part of this battle. And now a battle for 2nd up at the front. Honeycutt and Carpenter back at it once again, and McKissick and Conrath are right there. It's a conga line of 4 down the back stretch.
These drivers just won't stay away. Was 5 together, now 4. We are on lap 51, coming to lap 52.
I'm still waiting.
Still over 2-second advantage to Santiago Tires as we go back to 2nd. Corey Carpenter holding off 1 car advantage on Caden Honeycutt in 3rd.
And it sounds like heartbreak for Daniel Smallwood. It appears he sped on pit road. He's now 2 laps down. He was up inside the top 10 for most of that run. So he is now dead last, 35th.
Tough break for him. I'm looking here, 7th position. Connor Horn is right behind Nicholas Shelton as we're single file the top 10 here. A little bit of a battle for 10th position. James Wenzel, I'm sorry. Landon Huffman just fell back to 12th position. Kenny Brady on the move, the number 7 truck, moving up to 11th.
Corey Carpenter starting to reel that lead in, looking at the margin. It was up over 2 seconds. It's now under 2 seconds. 1.8 seconds is the gap. But he's also got a lot of pressure from behind with Honeycutt, McKissick, Conrath, Nicholas Shelton now, all really nose to tail throughout the field as they come off 2.
2nd through 6th is, yeah, like you said, all together here. I'm not sure if we're at Vegas or a restrictor plate race, how close these drivers are running. The gaps are closing, though. It's still Corey Carpenter and company behind him with Caden are running 1/10 quicker of a lap on your leader. But the leader right now doesn't have to push. I'm sure he's taking a peek in that rearview mirror, watching his relative to see how hard he needs to push, and taking a peek at his statistics from that first run of tires.
I tell you what, we don't get to see a plate race on the schedule for another, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Pull up the schedule. Well, not 3 weeks, but 3 races. We're at Atlanta this week, and that should Atlanta should be an adventure next week. Or not next week, in 2 weeks. Then after that, we go to Richmond, and then we go to Talladega. Then we'll see that plate racing. It's been awfully close here for Las Vegas, for 1.5 mile racetrack.
You're correct about that. That's April 22nd. They head to Talladega. And if it's anything like this that we're seeing in the competition tonight, I cannot wait. Up front, still leading by 1.6 now. Was over 2 seconds, 2.1 to be exact. It has got knocked down by 1/2 second. We're in lap number 57 of 134. For the NASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series here at Las Vegas.
Corey Carpenter still reeling in Santiago Tires. The gap now down under 1.6 seconds, right around 1.6 seconds, and closing. And here comes Jose Salas Jr. He's side by side with Brandon McKissick. This is for 5th.
Liking that outside. Jose Salas Jr. is trying to save those tires is what I'm thinking he's doing right now. He is starting the second run on the high side. You do that, it will help save those tires as long as you're not going too hard into the corner. He is in 5th position, taking it easy. The last run we saw him 4th, 3rd, got up to 2nd, backed off, and just saving the truck. He knows this is a long race, as he's been a pro driver himself, or I'm sorry, a contender in an iRacing series before.
How about this? We've made it this long with still no caution flag. So let's take a look here while we've got a chance, and take a look at the progression here for the Road to Pro series. We start here with the Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series. The top 70 in points from these first 8 races move on to the second round of the series. That takes they do 7 more races. The top 20 from that transfer to the Road to Pro Contender iRacing Series. The top 20 from the qualifying series, and the bottom 20 from this next
Coca-Cola
season, or this season really, of the Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Will face off, and at the end of the season, the top 20 in points from the Contender Series will transfer into the Big Show and race in the Coke iRacing Series.
I think it's really neat how they do that. It's like a tournament style. I think it's really awesome how iRacing does that, and I'm assuming these drivers are giving everything they have here tonight. We tried, and nothing has happened. We said no cautions coming to lap 62, and it still hasn't happened. We haven't jinxed anything. These drivers know what they're doing. Track temp now up to 91 degrees. Santiago Tires still your race leader, but that gap from 2.1 seconds has dropped to 0.6 of a second, with Nicholas Shelton now in second, bringing along Corey Carpenter in 3rd position.
And I'm sure Santiago Tires right now looks in his mirror, sees that bright green truck, and he's thinking, oh no. Considering how fast Shelton cut through the field on that opening run, if we stay green the rest of the way, I think Nicholas Shelton has the truck to beat on the long run. No doubt about it.
You are correct. I think he got some information from the crew chief on the team there that said, hey, you saved those tires really good. You can go a little bit harder, and that's what he's doing. He's pushing. He wants to get the camera time tonight. He wants that lead. He wants Cole Corey Carpenter right along with him here, coming to lap number 64.
Under 0.5 second is the lead between Tires and Shelton. And we're closing in on the halfway point here. We're only 4 laps away from it happening.
Turn 3 now. Gap 4/10. Carper now 6 low. Last lap there, last corner. He went to the high side. He is in line. He wants to come to the front. He wants second, see if they're going to try to blow by the leader or not, and look in the behind and 4th position. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. If they get in line, they can catch these leaders. And we might have a little bit of battle before we have to come to the second round of pit stops here.
0.3 of a second now is the gap between Therese and Shelton. They are closing. The question is, will Shelton just go ahead and make the pass right away, or is he going to try and ease up, continue to save those tires, and just let nature take its course here when he gets by Therese instead of pushing to get by him?
Question of the hour. Does he get there? Does he try to pass? Does he try to make the race leader nervous to show off that bright neon orange truck here and try to make him waste his tires a little bit? Because this run, he has pushed a lot harder than we saw previously. Gap now almost 2/10. 3 truck lengths behind, coming out of turn 4. He's going to be pretty close, I think, coming out of turn number 2, complete lap number 66, so 134.
You'll find out.
And at this point, it's going to open the door for Carpenter as well. If this kicks Therese out of the way, Carpenter may just say, thank you very much, I'll take that spot, and slide right into second. So there's definitely the possibility for Therese to lose 2 spots at the price of 1 if Shelton can get by him.
Getting close now. Half a truck back, coming out of turn 4. Aerodynamics going to be a factor here. Lap 67 coming to 68. He's putting his nose down inside. We have a race for the lead. Turn number 1. Nicholas Shelton is there, going into 1 side by side. Your leader goes up high, not putting up a fight, saving the tires, letting go. New race leader, Nicholas Shelton.
And as we cross the halfway point of tonight's race, it's time to bring you the iRacing Midway Race Break, brought to you by iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in Australian supercars, IndyCar, IMSA, NASCAR, the World of Outlaws, and more. Your race leader right now, Nicholas Shelton in the 12 truck. In second, the 10, Santiago Therese. In third, Corey Carpenter in the 33. Fourth place is Jose Salas Jr. in the 19. Fifth place, Caden Honeycutt in the 21. Brandon McKissick is in sixth. Garrett Conrath in seventh. Trevor Perry in eighth. Kenny Brady ninth. And Landon Huffman rounds out the top 10.
We are past halfway, caution free. 1 round of pit stops have been completed. We should be getting close here. What was it, lap 45? We saw the first set of pit stops, and then about 47, 48. So here in about 20 laps, you might see a little bit of different strategy there. Second place, Santiago Therese was the first truck to pit and had the advantage by 2 seconds. Doubled his time when he came out.
11th, got Adam Gilliland in the 11. 12th, Garrison Hogan. 13th, Liam Brotherton. 14th, Connor Bowden. 15th, Will Klein. Connor Gordon. 16th, Will Cooley. 17th, James Wenzel. 18th, Caden Lapsovich is in 19th. Omar Diallo in 20th. 21st, Justin Reed. 22nd, Jacob Hall. 23rd, Marcus Lindsay. 24th, Mitchell Hunt. 25th, Michael Cozy Jr. 26th, Jeremy Davis. 27th, Justin Worth. 28th, Jesse Swartz. And actually now 28th is James Heater. Then Jesse Swartz in 29th. Ryan Matthews 30th. Cale Gale 31st. Justin Knobloch 32nd. James Milbachler 32nd. Justin Knobloch 33rd. I think they just passed each other. Tyler Justice 34th. Daniel Smallwood 2 laps down rounds out the grid. And this concludes tonight's iRacing Midway Race Break with over 170,000 drivers on the service and over 90 laser scan tracks and cars to choose from. iRacing is your portal to the racing world. Get on track at iRacing.com.
Santiago Therese now takes over the lead once again. Nicholas Shelton falls back to second. Corey Carpenter still Third position, just being patient here, taking care of his tires and truck. Jose Salas Jr. fourth with Caden Honeycutt to round off your top 5, completing lap number 73 and 134.
Yes, Santiago Tires got the lead back. Shelton still hanging around there, still about 2/10 behind him. Carpenter there as well. Solis is a little farther back, and then Honeycutt in 5th. As you mentioned, Liam Brotherton, he was up in the top 5 for a lot of tonight. He's fallen back to 13th. Also, some of the guys that were out in front, Daniel Smallwood, we talked about it. He was speeding last time on pit road. That's why he's all the way at the back, 2 laps down. Tyler Justice got lapped. Cale Gale has now also been lapped at this point in the run. Justice has pitted a second time. Not sure if he sped as well or if he just decided to come on a pit road and get fresh tires. Well, have to do a little investigating on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was part of a pit strategy there or not, but like I said, could have got a penalty.
Well, we have one car on pit road. Mitchell Hunt, he's or one truck rather. He's on pit road. So already some guys potentially making some stops here. We're closing in at this point on a reasonable spot to make pit stops. You pit here. You could make it to the end, but it's a stretch. If you stretch it out 15, maybe even 20 more laps, you're going to be in a much comfortable spot. Your tires are going to be fresher at the end of the run.
Yeah, absolutely. If you pit now trying to go all the way, could be difficult. You'd really have to be easy with the race truck here, because that's a long run with tires. Fuel, you can definitely make it. But you got to also anticipate if there is a caution, if there is a green-white checker, all the different variables here, because it is racing and anything can and will happen.
If there's a green-white checker, we haven't even seen a caution flag yet tonight. I'm not sure we will see a caution flag in the near future. If we do see one, most likely it's going to come with green flag pit stops. When that happens, it's game on, and we're going to see caution after caution after caution after caution, because that's how this racing works. Everybody gets bunched up, they go down into the corner, and half the pack doesn't make it out the other side. Just because when you get to the end of the race and everybody's bunched up, everybody gets greedy, it's all give, or it's all take, no give, and that's when we see a lot of accidents happen.
Yeah, it kind of creates the domino effect. A little bit longer in the run here. You're going to see, he's starting to see on the track rubber buildup, start making these race trucks a little slippery. But like you said, there's no cautions. I haven't seen a lot of drivers, get upset with each other. A lot of respect here on the racetrack. So far, a lot of give. But as we get close to the checker flag, you're going to start seeing these drivers start wanting to do a lot of take.
Speaking of take, here comes Caden Honeycutt on the back bumper of the 33 of Corey Carpenter. This is for the 3rd spot, side by side into turn 3. Carpenter and Honeycutt have been all over each other pretty much all night long, whether it's been for 2nd, 4th, the lead. They've pretty much been stuck together like glue throughout the night.
Yes, they have, side by side still. But then coming out of turn 2, Caden still has a little bit of advantage here on the back straightaway. He's going to have a little bit of company. Where these drivers going to go inside, outside. They're coming to a later run of the tires. Right now they're dropping low. That's Brandon McKenzick. We saw him before this first pit stop make it top 6, top 5. And right now he is back in the top 5 with Jose Salas Jr. in 6. Trying to help him here. A little bit of an aero push.
Yeah, it appears that McKissick definitely has another long-run truck, like Nicholas Shelton. They both kind of made their way up towards the front. They rise to the top of the grid as these runs get longer and longer and the tires get older. Here comes Honeycutt back to the inside of Carpenter for this 3rd spot. Still side by side, and it's really allowed Santiago Tires and Nicholas Shelton to pull away, and it's allowed everybody else to close the gap behind him. McKissick is there. Jose Salas Jr. is closing up as well. And these guys are making it interesting here at the front.
Top 7 all collected here together, but like I said, top 2 pulling away just a little bit as they're side by side, but now 3rd through 7th here falls in line as I say that. 2 drivers peek upside, trying to get the run, trying to get the advantage, because they are closing in to this second cycle of pit stops, or this second run. So they're trying to get every position, every advantage they can before they have to come back in for 4 fresh rubbers and a full tank of fuel.
And before we get to those pit stops, you won't miss a thing. We're going to go side by side. Great racing here at Las Vegas with the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series. It's the opener. Santiago Tires, your race leader.
Of the best sim racers. $200,000 on the line. Who will rise to the challenge? Interlagos, Barcelona, Imola, Silverstone, Road Atlanta, Montreal, Spa, Nürburgring, Le Mans, Monza. This is racing for immortality. This is esports personified. This is the Porsche Tag Heuer Esports Super Cup.
The eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series second split here on STN Racing is brought to you by the RacingExperts.com, your place for NASCAR, eNASCAR, and other motorsports news. Visit www.racingexperts.com today. We're back here at Las Vegas, under 50 laps to go, and it is one heck of a show here at the front. Santiago Tires, Nicholas Shelton have been putting on a whale of a battle as we close in on the last green flag pit stops of the night. Jacob Hitz, Casey Solwich here with you for the call. Zach Johnson running the show, doing a great job as always, and we're getting to the late stages. We still have yet to see the yellow handkerchief been thrown from the flag stand. These guys have just been going and going and going and going. And other than the pit stops, that's been their only break so far. If we don't see a caution, do you think we may see somebody make a mistake that could cost them the win?
Jacob, that's the question of the race. Kind of talk about break there. I don't know if we see a caution. I might have to put my money on it happens while going to pit road. These tires getting down. We are 46 laps to go, and here we go. First truck coming to the pits as we speak.
Here we go. Landon Huffman, he was up inside the top 10. He has made the hard left turn. He said, enough of this. I'm coming to pit road. Jacob Hall in the 8. He's also on pit road. Keeping our eyes on Tires. Remember, he stopped early. He was one of the first trucks to come to pit road under that first green flag pit stop. He'll stay out for now, and it looks like most of the field will as well. Remember, Tires stayed out. He's on a little older tires than Shelton, pitted early. On a little older tires than Shelton, but not by much. It's about a lap, maybe 2 laps. But, I mean, Shelton caught Tires rather quickly, got by him. Tires got back by him again. And since then, Shelton's pretty much just been hanging around as here comes some more. Connor Horn, Will Cooley, Justin Reed. They're all saying all over the radio that they're coming to pit road. Brandon McKissick, I think, is going to come in next time by potentially with Caden Honeycutt. Cale Gale, he's coming to pit road as, whoa, I saw that there. Connor Horn drifting it onto pit road, sliding under the brakes.
This is where I think where there might be a caution. It will be, I think, going into the pits. Could be on the pits, exit the pits, because they're going to have a big transition of cold tires. You know, they're fresh. They're going to be cold coming to the pits, and sometimes that's just hard to forget. Or it's hard to remember.
McKissick and Honeycutt do stay out. Colin Bowden, he's coming to pit road. Lapsevich, he's to pit road.
So if memory serves me correctly, our leader Santiago Tires pitted around 45, 46. If he tries to push this as long as possible, that could be around lap 100, 105. And as I say that, no, he's going to stay out. No, he is coming in. Our leader's coming in. Santiago Tires coming down pit road as we speak. I thought he might stay out as long as possible to keep fresh tires or have the freshest if this goes green, but maybe he's thinking that's not going to happen.
But everybody else is staying out. Everybody else that was up at the front. This is similar to what we saw the last time by with green flag pit stops, where Tires was the first one to come in and everybody else followed. We'll see what happens here. Shelton is your race leader for now through 3 and 4. Shelton is staying out. And so are the rest of the leaders for the most part. Trevor Perry to pit road. Garrison Hogan looks like he's going to come onto pit road as well. Adam Gilliland to pit road.
Sorry, I'm eating mine as we speak.
Nicholas Shelton almost has a second lead over Brandon McKinsick, Caden Honeycutt third, Corey Carpenter fourth, Garrett Conrath top 5. How long are they going to stay out? Will this make the leader or the old leader nervous? As I say that, Nicholas Shelton,
McKissick, Honeycutt, and Carpenter are all coming in. Kenny Brady is going to stay out. So is Solis. And oh my, who was that? That was Honeycutt that was sliding it on pit road on the brakes, made it work. Goodness gracious, that was close.
That was very close. I think he's trying to get the award for fastest getting into pit road there. Hopefully he didn't get penalized. We'll have to see when he comes out.
Or trying to get the award for being the first one to bring out the caution this season. Here comes the leader, Nicholas Shelton to pit road.
Locking up the rear brakes, keeps it nice and straight. Looks like a perfect entry into the pits.
And here comes everybody else as well. Brady, Solis, Brotherson, Worth, all coming to pit road. McKinnick is getting out of there, but Landon Huffman, because he pitted first, he right now is in position to come around and be the leader with a half-second gap over Santiago Tires. So how about that?
That we'll see. Absolutely. Here we go. Yeah. Coming
Shelton
out of
just got off of pit road. And we'll see what happens. Here comes Tires. He gets by Huffman at start-finish heading for turn 1. They're going to blow by Shelton right there, and Santiago Tires is back out in front, and Nicholas Shelton's going to have a little more than 2-second gap, probably close to 4 seconds to chase down Santiago Tires now. Connor Horn comes out in the 3rd spot, and it is a swarm of trucks behind Nicholas Shelton. Look at this. And he's about to get hounded. Here comes Honeycutt and Carpenter. Mitchell Hunt, I don't think I've said his name once tonight. He's up in the top 10. Pit strategy galore. And it's shuffled up the field here on the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series with 38 laps to go.
Santiago Tires, your leader. Landon Huffman, about 9/10 of a second back. Connor Horn, 3rd position. And Brandon McKinsick, the long run race truck we talked about this whole race, moving up to 3rd position with 37 laps to go. That will put him about a 1.5 seconds off of the leader.
McKissick is 2.5 back from Tires. Huffman's 1.5 back from Tires. And I mean, who is that just clogging up the track here? Is that the 6 of Will Cooley? It is. He is moving chicane right now. They are 3 wide trying to get by him with Bowden, Honeycutt. Shelton is there. Carpenter's there. They're still 3 wide. This is where we could see some wrecks.
5 wide.
Oh, come on, guys. Keep it together.
Wait, me?
Oh, man. Come on now.
Back to 2 wide. They are showing off here at Las Vegas. They are rolling the dice, and they didn't get snake eyes. What a show. 35 laps to go.
Like I said at the top, put all the chips in the center of the table here to start the season off. That's what they did right there, and they made it pay off there. But Nicholas Shelton gained about 3 spots there. He's now P6, but everybody's just chasing Santiago Tires, and nobody's close right now.
No, they're not. The gap now over 2 seconds as we come to 34 to go. Landon Huffman, he is trying to hold off Brandon McKenzie in third. He's looking for second with Connor Horn. Now we saw him just a bit ago moving his way up. Nicholas Shelton fifth, trying to hold strong. Top 5.
So now McKissick in second, still fighting with Huffman for the spot, but he'll get it here into turn number 3. We've got coming to 33 laps to go. And at this point, Brandon McKissick is going to need to try everything. He's got a long-run truck. The question is he going to be able to chase down Santiago Tires before this thing is said and done?
2.7 seconds is the gap from Brandon to the leader, Santiago Tires. Let's see here. Gonna start catching some lap traffic here as we're coming out of turn number 4. That could help your second place contender right now, Brandon. I'll take a peek on that. Keep an eye and see how that plays out. Battle here side by side. Look like Nicholas Shelton here. He's moving up to 4th position. He's been strong. Didn't show off too much in this first run. Here on the backstretch up to 4th position. Carpenter down low inside trying to follow suit as Landon Huffman has fallen back to 6th position.
Shelton is flying 4/10 faster than Tires that last time by. Problem is if he's burning off his tires and Santiago Tires is taking it easy, Shelton may get there, but he ain't going to pass him.
That is very true. As this race continues, more rubber is laid on the track, which doesn't help grip, makes them a little bit slippery. So we'll see how it plays out. We know Santiago Tires has been doing one heck of a job maintaining his tires and how hard he has to push it. The run before we saw him give up the lead and took it right back after 5 laps, making the driver in front use up his tires a little bit quicker.
Yeah. Let's move to a battle further back. Garrison Hogan, Kenny Brady, this is P9 and 10. I just saw a huge block get thrown on Colin Bowden in the 28 for 11th. Will Klein is up there. Trevor Perry is up there. These guys are blocking for 9th, 10th spot. They know every point matters, and this is where we could see some fun back here. These guys all over each other.
Kenny Brady looking low, coming to the front stretch here inside of Garrison Hogan. He's going to have the advantage going into turn number 1. See if he can get it on the exit here. Right behind Will Klein, holding in front of Trevor Perry, Colin Bowden. That's 9th through 12th position. This is where the biggest battle on the track is at the moment.
I mean, you got Landon Huffman, who's pretty much just clogging the hole right now with how slow he is. On the older tires, they're going to try and split him here off turn 4. Brady to the inside. You got Hogan going to the top side. And it looks like Brady may try and get the 2-for-1 to turn 1.
Still 3 wide, turn 1. 9's holding on. He has older tires. Crossover move, engage. Garrison Hogan trying to get by here on the inside on the back stretch. And right there, Kenny Brady getting a little bit of loose there. Hopefully he didn't use up his tires too much in the rear, and now he's going to get battled right back out of turn number 4, trying to hold tough on the outside, and he does. Kenny Brady hold on to 8th position, put down the block.
Yeah, he's trying to seal everything. And now here comes Connor Horn. He's another one that's pretty much been clogging holes up at the front. Could he impact this battle? Meanwhile, Nicholas Shelton still flying. He's now P2, and the gap is under 2 seconds. So Nicholas Shelton is pretty quickly clawing his way through the field. We're inside 30 to go, and he is a man on a mission.
Last lap, almost 0.3 of a second quicker than your leader. He is coming, but how much of a sacrifice of those tires is it going to take? Corey Carpenter was 5th, now in 3rd. Brandon McKenzie still hold tough in 4th. And we can see McKenzie, he is moving to the high side here in the corner, trying to save tires and get also that momentum out of each and every one of these corners.
Shelton still flying. There's no doubt about it. He's trying to bring Corey Carpenter with him. Brandon McKissick in fourth. Caden Honeycutt in fifth. That's a battle going on right now for the fourth and fifth spot between, well, actually, that's a lap car there, I believe. The 29. That's Jesse Swartz. We talked about him earlier. He's getting up and out of the way. But Honeycutt right there on the back bumper of McKissick.
Leader Santiago Tires does have a couple cars in front. I'm not sure how many laps it's going to take to catch him. The gap under 1.8 seconds. Nicholas Shelton still quicker than leader by about a tenth. Carpenter right there peeking inside on the front stretch. Trying to get a little momentum. He moves up to the outside. He's going to get as much momentum out of turn 2. He needs to get a little bit closer to see if they can work together to catch the leader as fourth on his single file. Still, see if they can make a charge here. Coming to 23 laps to go.
Gap is under 1.5 seconds between Tires and Nicholas Shelton. Shelton pretty much has to be the pick of the race for most of the field right now because he is on rails and is closing in on the race leader.
So again, Nicholas Shelton here, second position, holding off Corey Carpenter. 1.3 seconds, still niching away. Your leader now, he has fallen off a couple tenths here. I think he might be saving. That's what I'm thinking. I think he's starting to roll off of the corners a little bit earlier, save some tires. So when Nicholas Shelton catches him, he can start pushing and make him use up his tires. On the backstretch now, your leader, Santiago Tires. You can start seeing lap traffic coming to picture. Nicholas Shelton still a tenth and a half quicker than the leader. Corey Carpenter right behind in third, staying right there this last few laps of the run.
22 laps to go. This time now make it 21 laps to go. Here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A reminder, in 2 weeks, we are back. Same time, same place, different racetrack. We're at Atlanta. We do 167 laps at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And then 3 weeks after that, April 8th, we head to Richmond for 200 laps under the lights. 2 weeks after that, we go to Talladega, April 22nd, 100 laps there. Then May 6th, we're at Darlington for 140 laps. May 20th, Charlotte, 167 laps. June 3rd, we visit Martinsville. That ought to be fun. And then we wrap things up June 17th. We wrap things up June 17th in Dover, Delaware for 200 laps around the Monster Mile. And round 2 also looks to be fun. We'll get to that schedule as it gets more available. We don't know enough about it yet. We know a majority of it, but some lap count things we don't know, and time of day for races in game we also don't know. Nicholas Shelton, he's got the fishing line out. He is reeling in Tires right now. 0.7 of a second is the gap.
Last lap, tenth and a half quicker. As you just stated through the schedule there, June 3rd, Martinsville Speedway. Circle on your calendar. If anything like this, I can't wait to see that race unfold as we come to 18 laps to go. The gap from first to second, it's under 7/10. Nicholas Shelton trying to pull in the leader. Corey Carpenter right there in third, and it looks like Brandon McKissick in fourth. The long run race truck that we talked about is slowly brewing his way up, bringing Caden Honeycutt in fifth position, right up there. In sixth and seventh, eighth and ninth, these drivers are starting to get a little bit closer, drafting just a little bit. This should be interesting. Getting close to the end of the race, caution free all night long.
I think we're going to make up for those cautions at Martinsville at the end of the season. How about
right.
looking ahead at some of the events that we'll be covering right here on STN, FTF, SNSL. That Talladega tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. FTF GNS presented by Bar Visuals. Round 5 at the Bull Ring at Las Vegas. That is Saturday night, March 6th, and then Friday, March 12th. More FTF SNSL at Daytona. Oh, should be fun stuff. Nothing like 2 plate tracks and a tiny short track. It should be one whale of a time. Can't wait for that. 16 laps to go. Up on the big board in the gap, 0.3 of a second between Santiago Tires and Nicholas Shelton.
Coming here on the backstretch, we do have lap traffic right up front. These top 2 are close. Third place, Corey Carpenter has dropped off the race for the lead here. Getting close, 15 to go, coming to it when we hit the line. Does anybody else have anything for Santiago Tires and Nicholas Shelton here at Las Vegas?
I mean, he's there, and lap traffic in the way as well. Looking to see who that is. That's Justin Knobloch in the 94. Actually in the 5. He's way back in 30th spot. Looks like he's going to stay high, wide, handsome, and get out of the way as these two are trying to battle for the win in the opener of the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series. 14 ticks left on the board, and Nicholas Shelton is in the tire tracks of Santiago Tires to turn 1.
As we say it, Nicholas Shelton is there. He is at his rear bumper. He's at the door. He is knocking. Now, he has plenty of time. He has a big enough gap for everyone behind as almost slideways right behind the lap traffic there. Keeps it down low. Good checkup. Good save. 13 to go as we hit the stripe. Nicholas Shelton, it's time to play chess. How hard is he going to push it? How much tires does he have left? That first run, he was being easy. The second run, he moved up through the field quite quickly. And there he is at his bumper.
Is it worth overdriving the car and taking yourselves both out of a shot to win and handing the cup over to Carpenter here? You drive in too aggressively, take both of yourselves out, put yourselves in the wall, bring out the caution for the first time now. Is it worth it? Or would you rather just hang in line and try and do it cleanly?
Yeah, that's the question. If I was Nicholas Shelton right now, I mean, it's kind of tough to see. We don't know how the trucks feel. He's been there. You know, if he's holding them up right now, which it looks like if we're looking at third, Carpenter is within a second now. So he does have to make a decision. If they start catching him here another 10th or 2, he may have to push it harder than he wants to.
And the more they battle, the closer Shelton will get. On board with Shelton, headed for turn 3. "11 laps to go here in Las Vegas. And the battle up front is very close. Shelton right to the back bumper of the truck in front of him, trying to get a little bit of pressure to the back of that 10 truck and get by him, but he just can't do it. Don't stay single file.
You saw Nicholas Shelton there go a little bit lower in turn 1 and 2. I think he's trying to take the air off the rear left of your leader to try to make his rear end a little bit loose. Try to make him use those tires a little bit harder. Right now, the gap to third still about 0.8 of a second. So right now, Nicholas Shelton's in a good spot to wait. Keep trying to force the leader over, drive his truck, and give a little something here as we are 10 laps to go at Las Vegas.
Shelton thought about it going into turn 1, couldn't quite do it. Turn 3, he'll just stay in line. They both go to the bottom. But in turn 1 and 2, Torres likes running that middle line. It may hurt him on entry, but he gets the launch off exit, and that helps him in 3 and 4. That keeps Shelton a big enough gap. But here comes Shelton, right to the back bumper. Looks to the inside. He's still a little too far back. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do anything with it. Nope, Torres stays out in front.
Looking from the rear of our leader, Santiago Tires, saw Nicholas Shelton there, so close going into turn 1, using the air to push Santiago, try to force his truck up high on the racetrack, trying to eat up every little last bit of rubber as we come to 9 laps, 8 laps to go. Corey Carpenter still 0.8 behind in third, with Brandon McKenzie in fourth. And Caden Honeycutt in 5th. Exact same position right here. Nicholas Shelton down way low in 1.
How about this? Battle for the lead? How about battle for third between Carpenter and McKissick? They're all over each other like a cat on Velcro right now. Side by side between these two. They've been doing it for the last 2-3 laps now. We've got a show for the lead. We've got a show for third. I'm glad this thing went caution-free because I'm not sure we'd have this great racing if we wadded them up 16 times tonight. We've got 7 to go.
7 to go. The gap's still the same from these leaders. It's like they are robots. Going 1 and 2. Nicholas Shelton all the way down at the white line. Santiago Tires 2 lanes up, 2.5. As you stated, Carpenter, McKenzie, battle still. 3rd and 4th, going through turn 3 and 4. Side by side, Caden Honeycutt. Keep an eye on him. He is able to save right here. Hanging out in 5th. These leaders get together. Anything can happen.
6 laps to go. Carpenter looks like he's going to hang on for that 3rd spot for now. Shelton just too far back. They're still side by side for this spot, though. McKissick has not given up. Shelton still too far back. And it looks like McKissick will just hop in line. So Corey Carpenter hangs on to position number 3. The battle, all right, it really in the top 2 with Tires and Shelton. As we come to 5 laps to go here in Las Vegas, who's going to win the opener for the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series and help cement their way? It'll go a long way in getting them into the top 70. To move on to the second round would be a win and consistent top finishes. Right now, Santiago Tires looking to start this season off with a bang.
Still side by side, Brandon McKenzie and Corey Carpenter on the outside, coming out of 3 as we come to 4 laps to go. If you're just tuning in, you came in just time. 4 to go, caution free at Las Vegas.
And it just looks like Shelton doesn't have anything for Tires right now. It looks like just, I don't know what it is, but Nicholas Shelton has not been able to get by Santiago Tires. Maybe he did burn his stuff up too much. He gets close. He just can't get to the inside and make the pass. And he's running out of time. He's going to go to the outside in 3 and 4. Let's see if this works. Get the launch off? No. Well, not really. Let's see what happens going to turn 1. He's got to run to the inside for the lead with 3 laps to go. Here comes Shelton. Side by side for the race lead here at Las Vegas. Big run on the outside from Tires. They're still going to be side by side as they head down the back straightaway. A great launch on the outside from Tires. And it looks like he's going to clear himself down the back straightaway or at least get close to it.
This is the first time Shelton has got the advantage inside here, actually at his door. Gonna try everything to hold tough on the outside out of 4, but he can't do it. He has to fall right back in line. 2 laps ago, he ran completely on the outside. 2 laps to go, entering in turn 1. Shelton gonna go back to the high side as Tires goes on just a slight advantage, a little bit lower. It has the advantage by half a truck. As you said, Jacob, I don't know if he has enough.
Tires trying to take Shelton's line away, and then they both went to the high side anyway. The high side worked in 3 and 4 last time for Nicholas Shelton. That got him at least to the back bumper of Tires, but nothing more. White flag in the wind. 1 more lap to go in Las Vegas. Can Santiago Tires hang on for 1 more lap? Or does Nicholas Shelton have one last thing to say before this thing's said and done? Back to turn 1.
They've kept it clean so far. We haven't seen Shelton make the move. Does he use a bumper? He is inside. Get the side trap here.
Here he comes inside, side by side for the lead into turn 3. This is all on the line for the win on the first race of the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series. Dead even off of turn 4. Side by side, they almost make contact. Side by side again at the stripe, and Santiago Tires pulls the win out by 9/1,000ths of a second. A photo finish in the second split of the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series, and Santiago Tires is a winner for the first time this season.
I can't believe it. Caution free there. I mean,
wow.
Who would have thought? I mean, if you said, hey, $5 caution free, no one would take that bet.
Unbelievable finish. Santiago Tires wins it by 9/1,000ths of a second. Shelton had the inside in 3 and 4. Just couldn't push Tires up the racetrack to try and get more momentum away from Tires. Tires played it perfectly all race long, and he gets to burn down the house at start finish. He wins big. He cashes in. And he pulls the first win out of the hat on this season. 7 races left on this season. Santiago Tires with a notch in his belt moving on forward, and great points boost moving forward as well.
You absolutely got that right. Good confidence going 2 weeks right to Atlanta Motor Speedway, March 18th. was our pole sitter tonight, and you call this the game of chess. He played it perfectly.
An incredible, incredible finish. If we can do that for 7 more weeks, I vote we just make this a regular series. This is incredible.
Oh, it was. There you saw your race winner, Santiago Gutierrez, lit up the rubber there, going victory pace lap here around Las Vegas. Give the fans a little cheers there. Wow. Can't believe it. Caution free. I'm still stunned.
An incredible, incredible finish. Let's run through the official results for tonight's race. Santiago Gutierrez started on pole. He gets the checkered flag. He gets it done. Nicholas Shelton started 17th. He finishes second. Brandon McKissick wheels it home in third. Corey Carpenter finishes fourth. Caden Honeycutt with a top 5 finish. Kenny Brady 6th. 7th, Garrett Conrath. 8th, Will Klein. 9th, Garrison Hogan. And Jose Salas Jr. rounds out the top 10.
11, Trevor Perry. 12th, Colin Bowden. 13th, Connor Horn. 14th, Adam Gillen. 15th, Landon Huffman. James Wenzel gets 16th. 17th, Will Cooley. 18th, Marcus Lindsay. 19th, Omar Diallo. And top 20 there, Liam Brotherton, the 34. Was run up front. Had a little troubles there at the end.
21st, Jacob Hall in the 8th, 22nd, Caden Lapsevich, 23rd, Michael Cozy Jr., 24th, Justin Reed, 25th, James Heater, 26th, Jeremy B. Davis, 27th, Jordan Worth, 28th, Cale Gale, 29th, Ryan Matthews, and 30th, Justin Knobloch.
31st, 29, Jesse Schwartz. 32nd position, James McBockler. Number 35, 33rd position, Mitchell Hunt. And 34th overall, Daniel Smallwood. And to round off the top 35, Tyler Justice.
What a way to end the night. Final thoughts here, Casey. I mean, could we have a better opening race than this?
I don't. I mean, race for the winner here by 10 1,000ths of a second. I don't think we could have. Caution free, 3 rounds of pit stops. Wow. I don't think we could. What do you think, Jacob?
An incredible race from beginning to end. Action literally all the way around the racetrack. And the lack of cautions helped keep things consistent throughout the night. Looking ahead at the schedule, for the rest of the season, we're at Atlanta in 2 weeks. Then 3 weeks after that, Richmond, Talladega, Darlington, Charlotte, Martinsville. We wrap it up at Dover. And then you see the round 2 schedule. We go to Knoxville, Homestead. We go to Watkins Glen, Rockingham, Texas, Bristol, and Phoenix. Quite an array of racetracks on the lineup between round 1 and round 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, in 2 weeks, we're with you at Atlanta for more eNASCAR Road to Book Qualifying iRacing Series. More stuff coming up on SGN. Tomorrow night, FTF SNSL, say that 3 times fast, at Talladega. FTF GNS, presented by Bar Visuals, goes on March 6th. Well, that's Saturday. And then we're back with FTF SNSL next Friday night from Daytona. Whew, goodness, take a breath. We're going to need it for next week. For Zach Johnson, our producer tonight, and for Casey Sawicz joining me tonight, I'm Jacob Pitts. Thank you so much for watching tonight's broadcast of the eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks from Atlanta. Thank you much, and good night.
Losing my breath, running around my head. Been playing it cool, but I've been pulling the thread.